Thank you, everyone, for your beautiful practice. Thank you for being patient with the coughs and sounds of my monkey mind. I hope you were able to practice loving my monkey sounds and mind rather than hating them. For you see, it wasn't too hard to just love me, right? So why are you so hard on yourself when your monkey mind is acting up? If you can love my monkey mind, you can love your monkey mind too. You know, half the practice of mindfulness is not just to get to a place of calm and peace and stillness and awareness. The other half is to just be with the noises, be with the body sensations, be with the thoughts, and accept them. This is half of the practice. If you don't realize that, you're no wonder you think you can't meditate well. But part of the meditation is to eventually come to a place of peace, stillness, non-stress, awareness, and acceptance. Radical surrender and acceptance to what is. Because guess what? If you fight reality, who wins every time? Reality. So let's not fight reality. Let us be with it, flow with it. And reality will dance with you and eventually transform you and the world. I hope many of you have read some of my reflections, 10 reflections, in the current newsletter. If any of you had a comment or question about one of my 10 reflections, please feel free to raise your hand during my talk. I don't really have a fully prepared talk. I just wanted to speak from my heart. Because after so many decades of mindfulness practice, it's actually not necessary for me to prepare a Dharma talk so much. Because my life is my Dharma talk. All I have to do is open my heart and open my mouth, and there's a Dharma talk. Because the point is not to study only. Of course, study is part of our practice, but the point is to not learn the Dharma, but to become the Dharma. A bodhisattva from a different religious tradition many centuries ago, his name was Saint Francis, and he told his monks to go out and preach the good news to every human and every creature, and only use words if necessary. You don't need to say a lot. People observe you, don't they? They scrutinize you. That's why reality TV shows are so popular. They're looking for something different in you that maybe they can use for themselves. So if you become the Dharma, then your attitude, your smile, your generosity, your awareness, your kindness, your way of walking, your way of talking, your way of being in the world is already preaching the Dharma. You don't even need to say anything, unless necessary. And as I said earlier today, one of my insights was I'll just read it. Just by our very existence, we exert a positive force around us wherever we are. Remember that when you gather together in Sangha meditation, for you intensify that positive force. And remember that next time you are in a waiting room or a hospital or anywhere, for you are invisibly helping those in that place, even just by simply being there. This insight didn't come from a book. It came from the Dharma of my experience. I've been in the hospital so many times in the last 2 years. And sometimes I feel helpless and useless. And sometimes it's so hard to breathe nowadays. I can't even do normal breath mindfulness meditation. And I can't even do chanting meditation in the normal way. I've had to come up with creative new ways to practice. But I realized in that hospital bed a couple of weeks ago, I am never useless. Just by my very existence, the existence of a human being, I already radiate a light invisibly. So the bottom line of our human existence is always positive light. No matter how many weird things you've done in your life, crazy things, poor choices, remember that. The bottom line of who you are is always radiant, positive light. And that can never be erased. Never, ever, ever, ever be erased. So, if there's nothing you can do except just be there, remember that your very being is radiating and helping. So, I was there in the hospital room, just being, not useless, no, just being and radiating. Perhaps someone else in the hospital near me needed my presence, whether I knew I was there or not. So if you find yourself in a place or a situation that is really not pleasant, and you have no idea why you have to be there, just remember, perhaps the universe needs you to be there, to add a little bit more light, because it would be too overwhelming without you being there. Because each of us, especially when there's more than one of us in a place, there's more light. And if it's consciously done together with meditation and spiritual practice, wow, you have just amplified the radiant, positive light in that place. You may not know everyone in this room, but you have affected everyone in this room with your presence. Don't forget that. Please. I haven't been able to come to Sangha for months because of my health. And I felt like it wasn't really good for me to come tonight, but I was so determined to come tonight, no matter what, because I don't know when the next time will be I can come. So it is my deepest desire to be with the Sangha every week. So think about that. If that's my deepest desire, can that become yours too? So many people make up excuses. Well, I'm too tired today to go to Sangha. Oh, I don't need Sangha. I can just meditate at home by myself. No. Please. I want you to want Sangha as much as I want Sangha. I need Sangha. I love Sangha. And not only I, but everyone in this room needs me to be in Sangha. And everyone in this room needs you to be Sangha for them. I believe the ultimate destiny of humankind will be positive, that we will eventually overcome all these wars and discriminations and prejudices and fundamentalisms and persecutions and all those nasty monkey mind habits. But it will not be accomplished without Sangha. If you are not actively supporting your local Sangha, this ultimate destiny will still occur, but it may take a few more centuries. It's just going to be slower paced. But for the sake of all the suffering that doesn't need to happen between now and then, I implore you to take refuge in the Sangha and encourage others to take refuge in Sangha. This is the celestial speed up through Sangha. So it's up to you. You all have free will. We all have free will. Will we go through all this craziness for many more centuries? Or will we choose to transform it in one generation? Just 40 years. It is possible. I've seen it in visions. It is possible to completely transform this planet in just one generation, just 40 years. I don't know if it's going to happen because I don't know if everyone's going to choose that, but it is possible. It's up to us. So, definitely take refuge in Buddha, which means your enlightened nature. Definitely take refuge in Dharma, which is the teachings and practices and the radiance of being who you are. But most importantly, I think, take refuge and support the Sangha, because that's where Buddha and Dharma becomes real as Sangha. Well, I want to say thank you to the enlightened ones, because with all the medications and drugs I'm on, I can't believe I made any clear sentences. It's a miracle. Hallelujah. Okay. I would like for us to do 5 minutes of small group sharing and 5 minutes of random sharings from the large group. This is a practice of Sangha, so don't leave during this part. This is the good part. Because there's food afterwards. Okay? Thank you. So just groups of 2 or 3 or 4 people. Just share for, half a minute or